Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Sunday morning. This Sunday morning, like most Sunday mornings, Sunday schools are going to be filled in. Education about Christ, God, and perhaps others will be discussed and talked about. A little bit later on, we'll have service where we will take a scripture or some story in the Bible and try to preach it, give you some context of what it's all about, and put it in some form of fashion that makes it interesting so you don't go to sleep. And we'll go through the rituals, the protocol. We'll do whatever else is supposed to take place. We'll do that. And we'll probably talk about some of the things that's going on in the world. We'll probably try to see if we can take up some funds and contribute to some of the causes, some of the pains, maybe not the causes, but some of the pains. And we'll pray and ask God to help them. Then we'll probably go home. Many of us will forget all that has taken place. Some of us will still be thinking about it and praying about it. But the bombs will still be dropped. The children, the sick, the crippled, the young will still be brutalized by an enemy of life, by an enemy of truth, by an enemy of righteousness. Now, it's a man being used by a spirit called perhaps Satan. Maybe. It might be something else. I don't know. But we refer to it as Satan with all of its pain and suffering that it's causing. And we wonder, many of us might, have we done what is required of us? And I ask that perhaps you, in answering that question yourselves, ask, is what you've done sufficient enough if you were in that same position? What you have done, would that be sufficient enough for you being in that same position? I'm sure most of us would say, hell no, that's not sufficient enough. But then you're going to come up with all kind of excuses for it being acceptable. And it will probably be that way until you find yourself in that same boat. And when you find yourself in that same boat, you should not expect anyone to come to your rescue, because what you will have is the fruit of the seed that you've planted, and that is divine. So, as fearful as it is, I know it's all because of fear. You know, this thing about death is one of the most frightening things we'll ever go through, and yet every last one of us have to go through it. And most of us don't have an opportunity to choose the times that we do go through it, because most of us never want to go through it. But I heard somewhere they said that it is the greatest thing that any human being can ever do, was to choose to lay down their lives for others. Well, you know, they use the other terminology, your neighbor, your friend, your people, the human race, for love. That's what love is. And so, when you think about this pain and suffering that the Ukrainians are enduring, I heard a brother the other day on the news circuit, Graham, a senator from South Carolina. Now, usually he and I don't agree on too much of anything, but I heard him suggest that the Russian people, Putin's people, they know that he's causing them all kind of pain. They know that he's evil. They know that he's, in essence, I'm paraphrasing what he's saying now, they know that he's from the pit of hell. So they need to go and take him out, because he's an enemy to humanity. Now, I'm a man of nonviolence. And yet, when I speak of nonviolence, I'm talking about never being aggressive on anyone, but having the right to defend yourself at any cause. Not only that, having the responsibility to defend righteousness, And there's nothing you can call unless we've been deceived about what's going on in in Ukraine, because it is nothing in it less righteous than to allow that to occur. The whole world, as far as I'm concerned, it's not just on Russians. It's not just on those people in Putin that take Putin out or settle his butt down. It's not just their responsibility. It's the responsibility of humanity to get this evil cancer out, because that evil cancer will destroy the world. That evil cancer will destroy the world. And if you don't get it, it's already been gone for a while. So my statement to the human race as spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people, human rights for all people, that includes the Ukrainians. It also includes those Russians that won't have nothing to do with what Putin is doing. But they, like all the rest of us, are fearful of death. Here again, the choice is yours. What would you do if you really, really found yourself in that position? If everything you could possibly do saved you, would you do everything you possibly could do? If your answer is yes, then what you can possibly do is end this thing that's going on between the devil and Ukraine. I just thought that this would be the message that I would suggest that people hear all across the world today, that you have on display humanity. We don't even have to go back to the Bible. We don't even have to go back to Scripture. We don't even have to go back to the beginning of time. We have lived long enough to know what is life and what is destruction. And we have before us right now destruction. When we pretended we had life, it was not like this. But this is so obvious that we know it's destruction, which tells us the way of life. The choice is ours. Will we move, or will we be bound by Satan's steel? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for this moment. It is a pleasure. Good day.